guys! I just wanted to stop by and say thank you to all of you who watched my pregnancy announcement video, and say thank you to all of you who sent along your well wishes, your congratulations, and your suggestions and recommendations for things to make me feel better in the first trimester. I really loved hearing from you all and hearing what worked for you. It really took me a while to feel, to build up the courage to release that video. It was a video I had recorded a while ago, but just because I was feeling kind of so bad in the beginning, it took me a while to release that video to you all. And I wanted to stop by today and update you guys with a second trimester update. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Kassi Reyes. I am a registered nurse and a board certified lactation consultant. I make lactation specific videos on this channel, and I try to bring a new video every week. In this video, we are going to be talking about more pregnancy related issues. If you're interested and you want to tune in, thank you so much for watching and joining me on my journey. If not, then that's okay. These videos are a really great way for me to just kind of record my experience and remember it for me and my baby as well. So thanks for being part of the community. If you're interested in getting videos each week, please subscribe to the channel down below. And if you hit the bell, you'll be notified each week when I post a new video. So second trimester definitely came with its upswing, like most people said it would. You know, that's not the case for all people. So if you're one of those people that doesn't feel better from the nausea at any point in your pregnancy, I really feel for you, because if you have to feel that way your entire pregnancy, it must be really, really, really rough. And you are so strong to be able to manage that for so many months. My nausea lasted until about 22 weeks, I would say. It did start to get better pretty soon after the second trimester started, but the kind of leftover effects of it went away after the 22nd week, probably. Another thing that did unfortunately come along with the second trimester was more frequent headaches. For about the first half of the second trimester, I had almost daily headaches, and they weren't easy to manage because I was having a hard time figuring out what I was able to take during pregnancy, and they weren't necessarily migraines, so I didn't want to be taking lots of migraine medication, but just kind of daily nagging headaches that I'm pretty sure are hormone related in that stage of pregnancy. The second trimester also, besides the nausea finally subsiding, came with some really surprising positive effects as well. One of them being that as your uterus grows and your baby kind of moves up and off of your bladder, you have to take less frequent trips to the bathroom. So that was a plus. And just kind of feeling less tired, more energetic, more eager to get things done, and also increased appetite. I was able to eat vegetables again. I was able to eat dairy, just kind of going back to the way I like to eat. And actually I wasn't even able to eat dairy prior to pregnancy, but in second trimester have loved to eat yogurt every day for breakfast. And also towards the end of the second trimester, refound my love for ice cream, and also loved discovering that my stomach was okay with eating ice cream now. So win-win. We all have to do in our second trimester the glucose testing, and because of my headaches, I preferred not to drink that sugary drink that they make us drink, and then they test your blood and your blood sugar levels an hour or two after you drink the drink. I chose not to do that, and my doctors provided me with a little glucometer, and I had to check my blood sugar by sticking my finger 4 times a day. I know it sounds awful and some people probably think I'm crazy for opting for that option, but for me, the little finger stick is nothing compared to inducing a migraine that may last for several days. So that was the option I chose. Thankfully, I did not have gestational diabetes. Besides the headaches, some of the negative things that came along with the second trimester were a surprising amount of pelvic pain just with walking. Actually, that started for me in first trimester and just intensified in the second trimester. When you're pregnant, your joints get super mobile because your body's producing a hormone called pregnancy brain. So there goes the name for that on me. Relaxin. Produces a hormone called relaxin, and it makes your hips and your joints more flexible in preparation for birth. But mine just happened to get extra sore at the beginning of my pregnancy, and so I did start physical therapy, which was great, and I've been doing some physical therapy sessions throughout pregnancy, which I highly recommend if you have access to that, because I was able to figure out ways to safely get in and out of bed, safely get in and out of the car without my joints and my hips, my SI joint popping in and out of place and causing me that much pain. They also recommended a belt for me. Let me grab that. So this is the belt that I was recommended by my physical therapist. It's called the Sorolla belt. It's not really like a belly belt for pregnancy. It's puts pressure on your hip bones and keeps your hips kind of in place and keeps them from popping in and out of place. Let's see, what else? What other fun things came along in the second trimester? Yes, lactation related, actually. I had some pretty drastic breast changes in the second trimester, which led to some scary reddening of my skin on my breast, and it didn't quite look like anything I had seen before. Despite my lactation studies, what it looked like was mastitis, which didn't make any sense to me since I wasn't really lactating yet, and I didn't have any pain or fevers or anything with it, just really red skin. And I saw a breast specialist, which I recommend doing if you ever have any concerns of anything strange going on with your breasts. The concern was that it looked similar to mastitis, which we knew that it wasn't, but also looked pretty similar to inflammatory breast disease, which was really scary. So it was really scary to have to think that I could have a possible diagnosis of breast cancer while I'm waiting for my first baby. And I went through a series of ultrasounds. Eventually I ended up having to have a biopsy done, and waiting for those results was nerve-wracking. And thankfully, after all was said and done, it came back negative, and I didn't have to return for any further testing, and the tissues kind of remained the same on and off throughout my pregnancy. And it's just kind of an interesting case study for me as a lactation consultant in the drastic changes that can happen during pregnancy and preparation for lactation. Throughout all of this, which was pretty stressful, having a baby comes with a lot of new changes. So one of the things that we had to do during second trimester was move. So we moved to a larger apartment to have a little bit more space and to have an extra guest room so that we could receive family, grandparents once baby arrives, and have more space for everyone. That, on top of the scare of all the stuff that was going on with the breast biopsy and trying to continue working full-time job and continue working on my business at the same time, it was really time for me to slow down. And I got a really big message from the universe saying, hey, we need to slow down here. One day when I was leaving my apartment building, I fell down. It was luckily only 3 stairs, but I twisted my ankle at the top and fell to the bottom of the stairs. And luckily did not land on my stomach. I landed on my knee and my hands and my side, and it was really, really scary. And I was just so thankful that in the long run, everything was okay with baby. My ankle was, again, I mentioned in the first video how I had to have an x-ray because I twisted my ankle. Same ankle, totally unable to walk on it for several days. And they wanted to do an x-ray. And because I had had an x-ray in first trimester, I opted not to have an x-ray this time and to just go with the option of wearing a boot and taking it easy as much as possible and trying rest and ice and all the things you do and hope that it was a sprain and not a fracture. And I think that was a wise decision because it was a struggle to go about my life and continue working. I had to work in a boot for a few weeks, and that in itself was a journey. But in the long run, after probably a month, I was able to walk without the boot, pretty pain-free, and thankfully I was able to get out of the boot just in time to get married. So in my year full of changes, another thing that we had planned back in December before finding out that we were going to be having a baby this year was to get married. And so we had a small wedding with family and friends. It was an outdoor wedding on a pond in Maine, and it was really magical and so amazing to be able to spend that time with my friends and family while being pregnant and return to some semblance of normal social interactions after all this craziness that the pandemic has brought us over the last year and a half, to be able to reconnect with loved ones in person. Unfortunately, some people still weren't able to make it because of travel restrictions and that sort of thing, but we were able to have a virtual version of that too. So maybe I'll share some of our pictures from that really special day with you guys. Overall, second trimester was a whirlwind. We really squeezed a lot in. Other baby milestones that we had in second trimester were our 20-week ultrasound. The 20-week ultrasound is so awesome because you get to really get a good look at baby. It's the anatomy scan, so they scan baby's heart and organs and everything and just make sure that everything's looking good. And thankfully everything looked great with her at her 20-week ultrasound, which made us so happy and so relieved. And oh yeah, and our gender reveal. I may do a video about the gender reveal separately, but I was so unsure whether or not I wanted to know the gender of the baby. My mom was really surprised with both of her kids, my sister and I. And I always thought that I would keep it as a surprise. And I don't know, something in me like I really wanted to know because I had a hunch about what I was having. I didn't want to be surprised the day of the birth after an entire pregnancy of thinking one way and then having to adjust my brain in the other direction. So I figured out a really fun way to tell my husband that it would be a surprise for both of us at the same time. And I will probably do a gender reveal video just so we can make that a little bit more fun. Woo! So it's getting dark on me. I'm losing the light in my little room here, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Definitely second trimester was a whirlwind. Definitely felt good to feel mostly better. Despite some of the setbacks, I think that the message to slow down despite all the things we had going on was received loud and clear from the universe. Oh, one last thing that I forgot to mention about second trimester was that you get to feel your baby kick. At least some people feel that sooner maybe, but it took me a while because I had an anterior placenta, but it was so cool to be able to feel little movements and little baby kicks, and to be able to have my partner also feel those baby kicks as well. If you are still listening to this long video about all the things that I experienced during second trimester, thank you so much for tuning in. I will have some videos about my pregnancy scattered throughout, but I tend to post mostly videos about lactation specific topics. So if you're interested in receiving more videos, subscribe to the channel down below, and yeah, hit the bell so you're notified each week when I post a new video. Thank you for joining me. I will talk to you all soon. Bye.